So, something a little different today. I thought we would sit and read some Reddit stories. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. So, I went ahead, I emailed myself some Reddit stories that I've already picked out. All of these are from r/am I the asshole. So, let's just jump right in. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my friend after my ferret attacked her $900 dress? So, I, 29 female, have a pet ferret, Noodles. He's super friendly and curious, and I let him free roam when I'm home. My friend Kara, 28 female, fake name, came over last weekend for wine night with a few of our other friends. She showed up wearing this very extra silky dress, said she had a date after and didn't have time to change. I told her maybe not the best outfit for a casual girls' night, but whatever. Well, at one point, she gets up to go to the kitchen, and Noodles, being the menace he is, bolts toward her and jumps up. His little claws snag the back of her dress, and it tears, maybe a half-inch slit. She screams, freaks out, and runs into the bathroom sobbing. The whole vibe died instantly. I felt bad, but also like, you wore a $900 dress to drink boxed wine on my carpet with a little ferret present? Anyway, she sent me a Venmo request later that night for $920. Apparently, the dress is from some vintage designer, and the repair requires specialist fabric sourcing. I declined the request. She sent it again. I declined again. Now she's telling everyone I'm irresponsible and letting my rodent ruin people's things. She even told our group chat that I let Noodles drink wine. He just sniffed the glass one time? Question mark, question mark, question mark. My other friends are split. Some say I should pay at least something. Others say Kara's being dramatic. Then again, her lawyer dad sent me a letter saying I'm liable for damages. I literally laughed out loud. Like, what judge is going to look at me and say, yes, pay $900 because your ferret got excited about silk? So, am I the asshole, or is this am I the asshole, or is this entire thing completely unhinged? Okay, so first notes. Yeah, it is kind of crazy to wear a $900 dress to drink wine. What color was this dress? I'm guessing hopefully not white, because why would you wear that to drink wine? But also, if it was white, I feel like it would have been mentioned. However, maybe this girl's loaded. Her dad's a lawyer. So it's like, she probably is loaded. She probably wears $900 dresses all the time. And so while I do understand, like, yeah, your pet, like, even, let's forget about it being a ferret. Like, say it's a dog. Like, I feel like her rodent, whatever. I feel like that's a little, she's letting her rodent ruin things. I feel like that's, like, let's just pretend it's a dog for a second. Your dog ruins my dress. I mean, yeah, I might be a little upset about that. I could totally see, like, maybe going to a tailor and getting it fixed and being like, hey, can you pay for this? Like, your ferret ripped it, or at least can you help pay for this if she's like having some financial issues? But like, the way I see it, your dad's a lawyer, you're 28, so you're probably still able to get like help from your dad, clearly, because he sent her a letter saying I'm liable for damages. Okay. So aside from that, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would say not the asshole, but I am kind of leaning on everybody sucks here because, like, yeah, who wears a $900 dress to go, hang out with friends and drink wine or whatever? Sure. But at the end of the day, whether it's a $900 dress or a $50 dress, like, let's just say you really love this item of clothing. You wore it to go hang out with your friends because you wanted to feel good. You had a date after, sure. Like, forget about the price, forget about the fucking ferret. Like, let's pretend it was a dog, pretend it was some $50 dress from Target. It is your pet and it is your house, and you did invite people over. So if your ferret like got excited about silk, like, I feel like there is a better way. I don't think you need to pay for the whole dress. I think that's crazy. But top comment, info. Did she know that Noodles was a free roaming ferret before she came over? I.e., has she been over before and seen him free roaming? OP says, Yes, we've been friends for a decade now. She met Noodles several times and knows the vibe. It wasn't a surprise that Noodles was free roaming. Okay. Again, pretend it's a dog. You know, your dog jumps up on my dress. I'm still going to want you to compensate me for your animal ruining my stuff, you know? Regardless of it being $900, I don't think she should pay for the whole dress, whether it was $900 or $100, but paying for the repair at the very least, I could see. Second comment goes, "You're the asshole. You invited a company to your house. All you had to do was put your pet up. If I was your friend, I wouldn't think it would be an issue meeting up at your apartment before a date in a nice dress. You shouldn't be callous of the fact that your pet jumped on your invited guest and ruined her dress." Does not look like OP replied to that. And also, this post was from 3 hours ago. It already has 2.2 thousand upvotes and 1.6 thousand comments. So OP didn't reply to that, "You're the asshole," but that one was a highlighted comment. Next one goes, "Info. You're obviously judging her for wearing an expensive dress to be in your home. Did you warn people that your pet is a menace, your words, and that they should dress accordingly? She has known Noodles since I got him and has even pet sit for me before. If a fancy dress was the vibe and it was that kind of hangout, I would have put Noodles up. It was literally a wine night in casual clothes except for Kara. We've done this many times before with Noodles out. Oh, we've done this many times before with Noodles out and about, but sans the expensive dresses and had no issues." I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Okay. I am starting to lean more towards everybody's sex here. The fact that OP didn't reply to the one that was like, "You're the asshole," kind of makes me feel like they're not really here for open criticism. They're kind of just here to be like, "Get a load of this bitch. She wore a $900 dress." Like, is as somebody who has been poor and probably will be poor for the rest of my fucking life, I I look down on people that make a lot of money. Sure, you wear a $900 dress to anything, and I'm probably going to look down on you a little bit. But that's just me. I'm poor. I don't hang out with people that, whatever. And so if that's this girl's vibe, clearly there's some kind of resentment with your friend. Like, you look down on her for having money. Her dad's a lawyer. Like, I don't know, man. It's giving jealous. Yeah, it's giving jealous, and it's giving like whatever. She doesn't really need the money, you know what I mean? And it's not really giving, "I'm here to talk about the actual issue at hand here, that my pet ruined one of your things and I should pay for it." I don't think she should pay $900, but let me scroll a little bit more. "Everyone sucks here. Honestly, you are coming across as a bit judgmental about her outfit. She might have had no time to change, or maybe she was just really feeling great in it and wanted to show her friends and get hyped up like friends usually do. I don't think it's too weird. I get that you see your ferret as friendly and well meaning, but any animal jumping up, someone has the chance of going wrong. Jumping up on someone has the chance of going wrong. It's always a risk. Fuck, I can't read. It's always a risk. Something might get damaged or someone trips and hurts themselves. I think it's too much for you to pay the whole amount, but some seems fair even when she is acting over the top right now. I think you should also look at how you might have been too dismissive, making her feel worse." Somebody else goes, they're like quoting part of it. "So then today, her lawyer dad sent me a letter saying I'm liable for damages. I literally laughed out loud. Like, what judge is going to look at me and say, yes, pay $900 because your ferret got excited about silk? As a matter of fact, it is quite likely that they could. Many states in the US have strict liability laws regarding damage caused by understrained domestic animals. Sometimes it specifies the type of animal, sometimes it doesn't, but you could 100% lose this lawsuit and be forced to pay. I think most lawyers would look at it and say the price tag isn't worth even filing it, but your friend has a lawyer that will work for her for free. And it's not worth filing. It's also not worth defending. Also, you're the asshole. Edit, everyone's the asshole. Yes, it may matter the ferret damaged an article of clothing rather than ripping someone's eyes out, and yes, it may matter the animal is a ferret, not a dog, and yes, it may matter the ferret is in its own owner's residence rather than out at the park somewhere. The point is, OP hasn't told us where she is, and so we don't know. We can't know. OP's apparent complete confidence that she is not liable is misplaced until she knows that the law says where she is. And the confidence of anyone on this thread giving a definite absolute answer is also misplaced. So it seems like the general answer is everybody sucks here. and also you're the asshole a little bit. So yeah, I agree with that one. I agree with Reddit's consensus on that. I think everybody sucks there. I think she's looking down on her friend. I think her friend is kind of entitled considering she is probably rich. You have a lawyer dad and you're wearing a $900 dress. Like, get over yourself. You're really going to make your friend who lives in an apartment pay $900 for your dress. So yeah, everybody fucking sucks here. Moving on. This next one, also coming from Am I the Asshole? 56 minutes ago. Only 21 upvotes, but 54 comments. I haven't read any of these. I've only read the titles. Am I the asshole for cutting her off over a SMEG set? So a few months ago, I, 24 female, moved into a new apartment and was super excited about it. One of the things I treated myself to was a SMEG toaster and kettle set. I know they're pricey and not everybody's cup of tea, but I was honestly so happy to finally get them. It felt like a dream come true for me. I sent a snap of them to a close friend, 22 female, of mine just to share the joy, and her response really threw me off. She basically replied saying that they're so bad and not beautiful and that they're not worth the money. She told me I should have just gotten a $20 one because SMEG has a bad reputation and I wasted my money. I got super offended and replied, kinda in bitch mode, I won't lie, saying something like, well, if they stop working, I'll just throw them out and buy new ones. And after that, I stopped talking to her. It's been 5 months now and we haven't spoken since. I feel like there was just some jealous or envious energy coming off from her and it really rubbed me the wrong way. My perspective is that when somebody buys something, especially if they saved up or were genuinely excited, that thing holds value to them. They invested money into it, chose it themselves, and felt happy enough to share it. So why would you ruin that for them? Whenever somebody shows me their new outfit or something they bought, even if it's not my style, I'll always hype them up and say something positive because they made that choice and spent their hard earned money. So, who am I to tear that down and ruin their little happy moment? I know this might sound childish, but I genuinely don't know if I overreacted or if I was just protecting my peace. Was I too sensitive? Or was her reaction out of line? We're both women, by the way, if that helps context wise. Curious to hear your thoughts. By the way, after that interaction, I literally had to go outside and take a walk in the forest because I was genuinely so upset. Okay. So, my thoughts. I don't know what the fuck a SMEG set is, so I'm just gonna assume rich people kitchenware. Cool. You got rich people kitchenware. Did she say how old she is? I don't remember. Because her friend was 22. She's 24. Okay, that's like not that big of a difference. So I feel like they're in similar points of their lives. She bought an expensive something, kitchen appliance, something. She got kitchen appliances that are expensive. Her friend was like, those are a waste of money. SMEG has a bad reputation, this, that, and the other. Initial thoughts are there was probably something already brewing between the two of them, but also there was definitely something already brewing between the two of them because you don't talk. Like it's been 5 months. You had that interaction and then you just stopped talking. You didn't reply and she just never reached out and neither did you. Like, yeah, it just seems like y'all weren't really friends. Like, top thing says, not the asshole. It's not about the SMEG set. This happened to me when I was about your age over a crystal chandelier I had thrifted from an antique store for the first home I ever bought. Okay. I was super excited for my own personal reasons, and I was thrilled to be feathering my own nest for the first time ever. It was in the back seat of my car when I picked up my friend to go out with her, and she didn't seem happy. I was excited for her to see it, imagining many happy movie nights for dinner parties under this chandelier in our future. She acted cold. I asked her if she was okay and if she still wanted to go out due to her strange behavior, and she bursted out yelling that I was a bad, insensitive friend for showing her the chandelier. She thought I was bragging, and she was upset that she'd never own a house. We're no longer friends. We haven't been friends for well over a decade, and to be honest, I don't miss having people who aren't happy for me around. I'm glad you stood up for yourself and went. No contact. You'll meet many new friends in the coming years who will be happy for your toasters and kettles. Yeah, that, yeah, it sounds like yeah, another resentment thing, like the first story, like it's money based. And I totally get it. Again, growing up poor, being poor, having no money, seeing people who have money. It's been my entire life. Like, yeah, there is definitely resentment there. But if you can't handle that your friend comes from a different life than you do, then yeah, don't be friends with them. Like, I don't know. Or if they have different opportunities than you do, like, don't be friends with them. I don't, yeah. Somebody else goes, info. You wrote that she basically replied, so bad and not beautiful. Did she write the words that you quoted? Did she say other things as well? Basically implies that there was more to her communication, and I wonder if you may have read, I wonder if you may have missed some nuances. God dang. Doesn't look like OP replied to that. Fucking technical difficulties. So, I was out there recording for 20 minutes. Totally fine. No problems whatsoever. And then my Wi-Fi stopped working. I have had an awful, 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 awful year so far. So my patience is quite literally this thin. I wanted to record outside because the lighting was better. So this is where we're recording the rest of this video, and I'm fucking sorry because for whatever reason, life fucking hates me. Anyway, I lost my spot on that last story, so we're just gonna go to a new one. Next up, would I be the asshole if I yelled at my sister while we were on vacation? For context, my sister is 23 and I am 16. So far on our vacation, I pretty much babysat my sister the entire time. She is the type to ruin everyone else's time if she isn't enjoying herself. She has been particularly difficult about food on this trip. She can be a picky eater, but there have been options for her to eat foods that I know she prefers. But yesterday, out of stubbornness from not going out to eat earlier in the day, she refused to come down for dinner, claiming she would eat the next day. We hadn't eaten anything yet. We just got off the plane and went out exploring immediately as a family. And that the options were foods I and my dad knew she didn't eat. I told her that the fucking typing in this is definitely a 16-year-old typing because I have no idea what you're talking about, Queen. I'm trying to like piece this all together. I told her that there were 8 other people besides her to accommodate to, and she got mad at that. Another thing she has been doing is cursing at me after I try to solve an issue for her in a way she doesn't like. Earlier today, she claimed that she didn't want to carry around an umbrella all day. We're in London. And that it wouldn't fit in her purse either. Okay, I'm just gonna restart that sentence because I'm fucking confused. Like, the syntax in this is crazy. Okay. Another thing she's been doing is cursing at me after I try to solve an issue for her in a way she doesn't like. Earlier today, she claimed she didn't want to carry around an umbrella all day. We're in London. And that it wouldn't fit in her purse either. My purse, she didn't have one. She wanted to bring with her that would fit her wallet, so I offered to tie the umbrella around one of the handles on the purse so she wouldn't have to hold it in her hand. She agreed, but as I went to do it, she changed her mind and said she didn't want the umbrella at all. I told her to leave it inside then and risk getting wet. She said, maybe you should just shut the fuck up sometimes. And everyone around us was shocked. My dad told her to watch her mouth. Just now at dinner, I was telling the girl we are staying with about how our father hates when I have caffeine, and she was like, yeah, because it's bad for you. And I reminded her that she had done the same at my age and currently, and she responded with, yeah, but nobody gave a fuck about what I did, and he obviously does care what you do. Oh. And my final straw was just a few minutes ago when she told me that I react violently, and I looked at her and said maybe I was harsh, but I said I act violently question mark, and she said that even her boyfriend thought so and quoted him saying, he's like, what is she on? The other girl with us and I exchanged a look, and I chose not to respond as to not start anything at the dinner table, but I'm thinking about saying something later. Think it would I just think I would be the asshole because I might be me reacting violently, and if it puts her in a bad mood, I'm afraid my family won't have a good time tomorrow. So would I be the asshole? Oh my god, ma'am, pay attention in high school a little bit more. Oh my god, I need to have a one-on-one with OP real quick here. As an English nerd, as a writer, this was some of the most difficult reading. You can't just throw parentheses and shit like that. Hello, have you ever heard of a comma? I see some commas in some places, not all of them are proper places. I see a lot of parentheses. A lot of parentheses that didn't need to be there. It just breaks up the writing and it breaks up the story and I'm confused. But anyway, we got through it. And basically what I'm gathering is we're all on a vacation, 23-year-old sister, 16-year-old sister, dad, and 5 other people apparently. There's 8 people, I guess. I don't know. And the biggest piece that I see here that actually tells us something about this family dynamic and what's going on here is when she said, you shouldn't drink caffeine because it's bad for you. And she's like, oh, well, you did it when you were my age and you also do it right now. Big sister was like, yeah, but nobody gave a fuck about what I did. And he obviously does care what you do. So what I'm getting here is there's some favoritism toward this littler sister, the 16-year-old, I guess, in comparison to this 23-year-old sister. I feel so uncomfortable. I was so much more comfortable outside, and the universe said, "Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you." I tried to connect to my hotspot too, and it was just like, can't connect. Anyway, so clearly there's some favoritism going on in this family. Also, I'm just getting a little bit of entitlement soaking through on this giant wall of text that I'm seeing. Like she can be a picky eater kind of thing, and she was like, oh well, I'll just eat the next day, and her being like, well, we hadn't eaten anything yet, and I reminded her that there's 8 people here to accommodate to, and it's like she knows that there's 8 people to, like, vacations are stressful. She's 23. I don't know anything about her life, but like I'm 23. Well, I'm 22. I'm about to turn 23. But I have siblings that are close in age to that. And I have even younger siblings, and I know there's a lot of stuff that they've stuck their noses in that they don't know anything about. And this is what this is giving, very much so. It's giving there's probably a lot of stuff going on. I don't really know about the act violently thing. Like, it sounds like maybe she's kind of aggressive with her, like, corrections or whatever she said it. But like her being like, I pretty much had to babysit my sister the entire time, and then being like, I don't know why she's cussing at me. And it's like, well, maybe it's because you're like 7 years younger than her, and you're telling her what to do, and you're telling her, like, I don't know, you're being annoying. Like, quite literally, she's like, can you just shut the fuck up? You're pissing her off. Keep in mind, this post is 3 hours old. It has no upvotes, and it has 11 comments. So the top comment says, I don't understand why you, as a teenager, feel responsible for your 23-year-old sister or why you're babysitting her. OP said she needs someone to do that. Which, by the way, she said she needs someone, comma, to do that, period. Ma'am. Ma'am, you're not old enough to babysit anybody. You can't even write a fucking Reddit post. She needs someone to do that. If she didn't have someone doing stuff for her or such, she would be pretty difficult to be around. She'd probably be yelling at more than just me. That has a downvote. And then somebody said, that is your parents' job to look after her. I can't believe she needs this level of looking after at 23. Be kind, but don't accommodate the behavior. She doesn't want to carry an umbrella, and she asks you, say, no, I don't need to carry it in terms of food. Eat what you like and forget about her, honestly. Everything else ignore. I don't think talking to her will help. She is projecting big time. She sounds unhinged. Okay. Somebody else says, not the asshole. Time to take a step back from your sister and let everyone else deal with her outbursts. Just stay chill. Don't say anything or get into any arguments with her. She can go in bad mood, shout and scream at everyone else, and make the holiday horrible, but that's on her, not your fault. If she decides not to eat, that's on her. She'll be the one that's hungry. She doesn't want to take the umbrella. Fine. She'll be the one getting wet. Stop taking the responsibility of controlling your sister's attitude and temper and let everyone else see what she really is, and you get to relax by not having to deal with it. So it seems like everybody else is like siding against the bigger sister, and I'm kind of, I don't know, I guess it's just the writing from the 16-year-old girl that really fucking pissed me off. I feel like I almost had an aneurysm reading that. But so just because of, I don't know, I'm getting like a little sense of like something else, like maybe there's a little bit of neurodivergency going on here with like the, it's a vacation and we hadn't eaten anything, but then she's like, I'll just eat tomorrow. Like, that's a very like as somebody on the spectrum, and who has a lot of people in my life who are also on the spectrum, that's a very like neurodivergent thing to do when you're so overwhelmed and your nervous system is so overwhelmed. You just say fuck it. You're like literally not even hungry anymore because you're so overwhelmed. So like I kind of feel like I'm getting a little bit of like maybe this older sister has some other stuff going on and this little sister is just adding to it rather than like helping it. Somebody else said, info, have you talked to your parents about this? They obviously know how she treats you, but it's their responsibility to deal with her, not yours. OP said, my mom passed when we were young and it affected her differently than it did me because she was 15, 16 at the time and I was 6. My dad doesn't really know how to handle her. She's always been distant. Okay, I've always been close to him. I think he is just doing the best he can. Yeah, it's giving mom passed away. Maybe mom and this older sister were closer. Like, my dad doesn't really know how to handle her. Like, I don't know. It's kind of, yeah. It's giving misunderstood oldest child and the fact that a 16-year-old thinks she can babysit a 23-year-old. Like, I don't know. Only other comment says maybe wait until you're home from your trip to address it so you don't ruin your trip. It's not about her getting out of anything. It's a pause until after your trip. You can, however, continue to defend yourself against accusations. You can help it if she keeps going. But if she... Why is everybody typing like crap? You can help it if she's going, but if she's let it go, maybe waiting to address this is best. God damn, people cannot type. What are you saying? Anyways, I don't know. I'm not ending on that. That was really crappy. So, last story for today, also coming from Am I the Asshole? 7 hours old. Am I the asshole? Friend injured cat while I was away. I've been on a holiday. My best friend of 10 years agreed to look after my cats for me while I was away, calling in every other day and agreeing to feed, water, and change litter. They have each other to play with, so I thought they'd be fine. I returned home yesterday, found dirty cat litter everywhere, all over my toilet seat, which I had to bleach before using as it was bursting when I got home after 10 hours traveling. The shitty litter scoop in the bathroom sink, litter everywhere, and I mean everywhere, doorstep, neighbor's doorstep, piles of it down the litter boxes that hadn't been put back properly, plants knocked over and put back, but dry soil all walked through my carpet, water all over the kitchen floor, etc. The worst was, though, both cats were very thirsty, so I checked their water, and the one they used most was old and full of flies, and the one in the kitchen was dirty and the bowl was slimy. My friend had also left the sharp, empty foods tins on the side, and my kitten, not a kitten, we just call her that, had to lick them so much she cut her tongue. Small cut. The clean bowls I left out hadn't been used, so my friend was just refilling food in dirty bowls for 5 days. I had also left a handwritten note with instructions on top of the electric oven burner and stupidly forgot to switch off the oven and the main, so I messaged my friend asking her to please turn it off as I didn't want the cats knocking it on and burning my house down. She didn't turn the oven off. She didn't even move the paper towel. When I called her to ask why she disrespected my space, she said I should have paid someone. So I reminded her I offered to pay her, but she refused. She then said she was only there to do bare minimum, and if I wanted more, I should have asked someone else. My friend takes care of dogs for people when they're on holiday, so I was expecting her to know how to look after animals and tidy up after herself. To which she told me I should expect a dirty house leaving animals alone for 5 days, and if I don't like it, I should get a cleaner. She also told me she was very busy and doing me a favor, even though she was messaging me yesterday to say she was going out of town to buy hair dye and sent me pics of it on her head. Was hair dye more important than doing what she promised to do? But even so, I would have never treated a friend this way. I said I am not her client. I am her best friend and would never leave her animals or her house in that state. And if she had told me she would only be visiting for 4 minutes, I checked the door cam, I would have found someone else. Then I told her to get fucked and I put the phone down. Now I'm thinking she did put food down and she did put water down and she did clean the litter trays just to a very sloppy standard. So maybe am I the ungrateful one? Yo. Yo. Yo, okay. So I've got like kind of a similar story, except it was my own little brother. My partner and I went on a cruise. We were gone for 5 days, just like the story. I have more than 2 cats. I have 2 dogs, and at the time, I believe I had 6 cats. My little brother set him up in this living room. Only thing was feed my animals, let my animals out. Didn't even ask him to clean the boxes. I was like, it'll be 5 days. They have a lot of boxes. They have extra boxes. So I was like, I think they'll be okay. Don't worry about the boxes. Just like pick up after yourself and feed my animals and, let the dogs outside and like don't let my house burn down, like we get back, there is cat piss, dog piss all over my carpets. This carpet in here, like this rug in here right by the couch, which tells me like he was just like sleeping in and like they would just piss on the carpet because they had nowhere else to go. They peed on like my hardwood floor out there. They peed on like the tile out there. Like they peed everywhere. And it wasn't just the cats, like it was mostly the dogs. So it was telling me like, okay, you're not letting them out enough. Like my house was a mess. Like there was urine everywhere. Like I felt like a bad owner because I was like, my poor babies, like my dogs had to go potty and like had nowhere, like they didn't have anybody to let them out. Like for the first couple weeks after we came back, my dog kept having accidents inside, and it was like, is this a UTI thing, or do you just think you can go inside now? So I am definitely familiar with somebody close to you doing something like this. And also with my little brother, we paid him and we paid him a rate that regular pet sitters would have been paid. And he's 18. And it was just like, come on, dude. So I totally understand that. And yeah, it is not a nice feeling to come back to a really messy home after vacation. Like, it's just kind of like, yeah, I didn't hire a cleaner, but it's also like, I don't know. But it also does sound like maybe the cats knocked over the plants and maybe they dragged the litter out everywhere. And like, yeah, sure, she didn't clean it up. But the stove thing is crazy to me because she was like, "Oh my god, I'm like I left my stove on. Can you please turn it off?" Like yada yada whatever. And then to just not do that is crazy. Like you're coming in and out, but you didn't. So okay, top comment. Not the asshole. Your friend did less than bare minimum, then got defensive when called out. This is a classic move of someone who knows they screwed up but would rather gaslight than apologize. She didn't look after your cats. She kind of existed near them occasionally when they slowly dehydrated and bled on dirty floors. Bled? There was blood? Hold on. Ah. Okay, when it cut its mouth on the wet food can. Got it. Leaving sharp tins out for pets is next level careless. And the paper on a live burner thing, that's not sloppy, that's accidental arsonist territory. You're not ungrateful, you're baffled that somebody you trusted acted like a hungover teenager. You and your cats deserve better. OP replied, the fact she said, had I paid someone, I would have gotten the service I was looking for. Yet I offered to pay her, so this means I had ignored her refusal for payment and insisted to pay her. She would have done the job correctly by her logic? Question mark, question mark, question mark. This is her day-to-day job, except with dogs. I just saw her post on TikTok about how her dogs make her life complete and she would do anything for them, yet minimal care for my cats. I wondered if I was missing something, like because I didn't pay, should I be grateful with what I got? But I kept coming back to this fact. I would never do that to her home or her animals. I was so shocked there was no apology, which made me doubt my stance. So thanks for the reminder of human psychology because it was pretty obvious now why she's rude to me. Another comment. Definitely leave a bad review on any dog sitting websites and never speak to her again. Not the asshole. It was outrageous to me she was suggesting I pay someone else when she offers these services and accepted the job free of charge. Like she was basically saying I would have had a proper job done had I paid someone. I tried to pay her, she wouldn't take it, so she would have done it right had I insisted I paid her. What is it she's saying, I think? So confusing. Not the asshole, your friends abused your cats and harmed them, you're big time underreacting. Cats can die within 24 hours of no water from irreversible kidney failure. You describe no clean available water. I love my cats and would be going nuclear. Not the asshole. Like for 5 days and free, I wouldn't expect much, to be fair. I wouldn't expect my friends to sweep up the litter by the litter boxes, annoying as it is to come back to, but leaving the tins? Lucky your cat just got a small cut on her tongue. That's dangerous. Litter scoop in the sink? What the fuck? I'm assuming that's not where you leave it yourself. The water isn't being taken care of. Like, at least switch out the dirty water and put some fresh down. How sloppy could she be? There was litter all over the toilet seat. I get some litters are flushable, but can you at least put the toilet seat up first and just wipe it quickly with some toilet paper before flushing? And then somebody else says, for 5 days and free from my best friend, I would certainly expect more. I would never do that to someone who wasn't even my best friend. Somebody else says, this is not how friends treat each other. This is not how friends treat each other. This is not how friends treat each other. This person is not your friend. Go no contact. Yeah. And also, I'm also getting a little sense of like, she just doesn't like cats. I'm getting a little sense of like, oh, I love my dogs and I take care of my dogs and yada yada yada, like my dogs, my dogs, my dogs, my dogs, my dogs, my dogs, you know. My computer just died. So it's a good thing that was the last one. But yeah, like it's just kind of like you don't really respect cats very much. It's giving you don't respect this friend very much. And it's giving I bit off more than I could chew. I accepted this job and now I'm mad at you that I accepted this job. Like she's also probably mad she accepted it for no money. Like anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm so sorry about the way this video ended up cutting out. Like this is not how I wanted to be set up. I was totally chilling with how I was outside. I felt good being outside, and now I'm inside and I'm in this room with these kittens and I'm talking and like I love them so much. They were so little little and tiny and cute, but you're really distracting. Hey, they were so distracting. I love you though, Boba. There's a Boba Fett. There's Boba Fett. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love watching Reddit stories, so I'm probably going to do more of these. And I promise next time I'll figure out something better than what happened today. Say bye, Mochi! Bye!